Hello, welcome. It's Delia. Thank you so much for being here today. Today I wanted to jump on here and have a little um, exploration about expectations. I've had some people asking me about this energy recently, and there are a lot of kind of pat answers about expectations that are going around these days. And there's an element of truth, and there's other elements involved in these pat answers. So one of the most common things about expectations is that they're going to bite you in the ass. They're not a good idea. They set you up for failure, or they set others up for failure. And pretty much everything about expectation is a bad idea. And that's fine as far as it goes. But we all have expectations that we're not really aware of, that we don't really own. We think that our expectations are kind of up on the surface, where the words in our heads and what we what we choose to tell ourselves we think and believe. But the way expectation shows up is actually more underneath. And the way that you can tell what your expectations are is by one deductive reasoning, part of evidence about what your expectations are, is what you believe is not true. So or not possible, right? So if you think that your winning the lottery is absolutely not going to happen, that's an expectation, right? So you would act on that expectation by never buying a lottery ticket, and by possibly hearing good fortune for other people. You might possibly be cynical about it, or go into whether or not they deserve the good fortune. And the best place to find what your expectations are is when you're feeling crummy, not on a good day. On a good day, you're going to say your expectations are great and everything is fantastic, right? So a more accurate barometer of your expectations is a not good day or a very bad day. And another place is how you respond to the good fortune of somebody that you don't like. And these are going to show you more accurately what you really believe, what you truly expect to happen. So whenever you hear yourself saying something like, always, never, and forever, right? Things are always this bad, or things are always turning, or things never work out for me, or things are never going to change, or this is just the way it's always been forever, and this is the only way it is, and this is just how it is. Right? So you may notice that there's kind of a flat, dampened energy to it, and it's a blanket. So it's not an observation about a particular person or a particular moment in time or a specific thing. It's like everything that happens like this, it's always going to happen, right? So always, never, and forever are a good clue that this is an area of what you believe. And it may not be what you want to believe. It may be believing that things are always going to turn to shit, or things are always going to go bad, or things are always going to be tough, or you're always going to be disappointed. See the common thread here, always. And when you become aware that that's what's going on for you, there's a couple of things that you can do in that moment, right? So usually when we are in that kind of a spot, we tend to look for the switch to flip or the exit sign, or how to not feel this way, right? And so whenever you find yourself in I don't want to feel this way, you're resisting and rebelling against whatever it is, right? And to be in resistance and rebellion, you have to judge it. So you have to judge that this is not fun, or this is bad, or this is wrong, something like that. And once you make the judgment, then you want to run away. You can talk about it however you want to, but that's basically, we want to repel and get away from whatever that is. And this is fine. This is the water that we swim in. This is how we've been trained for a really long time. But the more that you can become aware of it, see, if you are having to judge everything, then you don't want to become aware of things, because you see these things that you're doing bad or wrong, and then you've judged you as bad and wrong, and that feels even worse. So it turns into like a downward spiral. However, that moment when you feel crappiest and you just became aware of how you're adding to it, or how you're generating it, or how you're thinking about things always, never, and forever, in that moment, that's the moment of most power. Because the choices that you make in that moment, when you feel crappy, when that energy is intense, the choices that you make in that moment can change the course of your life. You're that powerful. Because with the intensity, that built up energy that's come up for that always, never, and forever moment. I mean, it's going to sound really familiar. You've done it over and over and over again. This particular always, never, and forever is, part of your top 10. And when you make a different choice in that moment, you're changing the trajectory. You're changing the course of your life. And sure, if you only do it once, you're not going to have a sustained change. But you can build a muscle. This is like an energetic muscle that you can build. And so in that moment of always, never, and forever, of disappointment, of letdown, of some lie version of how messed up you are, when you make a different choice in that moment, you're changing everything. And you can keep making that new choice. You can keep making new choices over and over and over again. Because if you're not making new choices over and over and over again, spoiler alert, you're making the same old choices over and over again. A lot of times when I first work with people, they ask me about, but this is so much effort, and it's so tiring to become conscious. And it's really very funny to me, because not only have I said that in the beginning, but also you're making choices all the time. It's just a matter of, do you want to make choices unconsciously like you're used to? Or do you want to consciously choose where you're going and what's happening for you? And again, if you're not judging yourself, it's easier to know which choice you're making in any given moment. If you're making yourself bad and wrong for choosing X instead of Y, then you're not going to want to know when you're choosing X. You just want to choose X and not, and just be oblivious. Because that way you don't have to feel bad of being judged. And yet you do feel bad. It's like this kind of oh, la, 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 I'm not going to hear you kind of feeling bad, as opposed to, wow, I did that again. I'm fucked up. That kind of feeling bad. So everywhere that you have training or you're used to making yourself bad and wrong and not liking that, so you resist and rebel against it, do you choose to destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion? Yes, I choose that. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. There you go. Whew, yeah. So the best way to find out about what your expectations are is when you're feeling bad or always some version of always, never, and forever, because that's going to tell you what you're expecting. You're expecting to be disappointed. You're expecting to be let down. You're expecting to not have what you want. You whatever your expectations are, it's important for you to know what they are so that you can have choice in them. You cannot change something you are not aware of. And a lot of us have learned to how to cultivate unawareness, how to be oblivious or distracted. That's what we call it these days. We get distracted these days. So everywhere that you would rather be distracted than empowered, would you choose to destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion? Yes, I choose that. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. And no matter how aware you are, no matter how much time you've spent cultivating awareness and consciousness, there are areas, we all have areas where we have never developed before, or we could definitely develop some more. So everything that doesn't want you to develop awareness in the areas that you have not developed awareness yet, yeah, you choose to destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion. Yes, I choose that. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Whew, yeah, okay. So the other side of expectations is when you expect something, it's going to happen. You're on that wavelength, right? You're in concert. There's another word, I keep forgetting it. This is like when I was doing sovereignty, I couldn't remember seniority. But there's a way that you're in harmony. You're congruent. That's the word. You're congruent with what you expect. So when you expect the other shoe to drop, or they're going to leave you, or it's not going to work out, or you're not going to have the money, or you have to worry about having the money, right? Whatever it is that you're expecting is what's going to happen. So if you're expecting that the universe is on your side, and you're expecting that the money is going to come, and you're expecting that everything is just getting better and better, then those are the things that are happening. And as you're making a change from where you have expected hardship to where you're expecting things to go well, there can be some herky-jerky. It can be, jarring. And it may require a kind of like an absoluteness, right? Like you get the bill and your stomach, the bottom falls out of your stomach, and the old tapes kick in, and how am I going to get the money, and where's the money, whatever the tape says, right? And now you have the awareness that you're expecting. Expectations is like a projection onto the future. So you open this letter, and now you have projected onto the future today's circumstances, because you don't have the money today. And so you're expecting in 30 days you're not going to have the money. And you have that expectation because you don't know how the money is going to come to you. So what if the money could come to you even if you don't know how? And that's why people call it magic, because you can't predetermine how it's going to happen. But when you have decided that that's the way things work with the universe, and your action steps follow up your decision. It's not just deciding and then sitting on the couch. It's deciding and then taking actions based on the expectation that the money is going to come, based on the expectation that you're going to dream up something to sell, or the right person is going to show up and want to buy that thing, or you will win the lottery, or someone will send you money. Or there's just, the thing is that money can come to you from a million ways. But the way this universe operates, not this universe, but this society operates, is that money can only come to you from 2 or 3 ways. And if you can't tell somebody on Tuesday how the money is going to come to you in 30 days, then to think that the money is going to come to you in 30 days is magical thinking. So everything that just brought up, let's destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. So when you have the expectation that more money is coming to you, you just don't know how yet, and you have the expectation that you're going to participate in that, you're going to be doing things. You're going to know who to call and when to call them. You're going to know what to sell and when to sell it, or whatever works for you. But if you have the expectation that out of a million ways for money to come to you, you can take appropriate steps and money can come to you, then that's what can happen. And if you do all of that and you take appropriate steps and still no money comes to you, then you have another belief underneath that says that, oh, that's what it is. That energy is like a proving energy. So whenever you're trying to prove something to anybody, it's gonna squirrel up the energy, and it's not gonna work. So just go ahead and close your eyes for a moment. And just take a couple of nice deep breaths. And just remember a time when something that you really wanted just kind of came to you as if by magic, just showed up. It was talking to the right person at the right time, or seeing a rainbow just when you needed to, or making a connection with somebody that you didn't think you could make a connection with. Or a song came on the radio and it made you smile. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be anything. But just feel that sensation in your body of this hug from the universe, something coming to you and making your life feel different in that moment. There you go. And just really dip into that, this sensation, this feeling, this openness, this lusciousness of things coming to you. And be aware of that sense of gratitude that just naturally shows up in your body as soon as you spend just a moment of your attention on how good life is and how wonderful things come to you. Things that you desire and require in any moment, just coming to you. Just really enjoy that. And now just look at a week from today and just get a sense of having the same enjoyment, joy, gratitude, appreciation in your body. And notice the softening that happens. And just choose to expect something wonderful is actually going to come to you later today and a week from today. And anything that doesn't allow that, let's destroy and uncreate all that times against you. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Destroy, destory, disintegrate, and erase. Excellent. Nice deep breath. Pat your sweet body. Just give yourself a little hug. And just repeat to yourself, the universe is on your side. The universe is on your side. The universe is on your side. Breathe that in. Step into that energy. Time is on your side. Time is on your side. Time is on your side. Breathe that in. And money is on your side. Money is on your side. Money is on your side. Step into that energy, that vibration. Breathe that in. Excellent. So tomorrow we're going to be doing a live workshop at 3 o'clock Eastern Time on expectations and clearing the blocks and working with the energy and changing the energy of expectations for you. So we'll have the information below, and I hope to see you then. Take care. Bye.